After a US-convened ministerial followed by a Security Council meeting on the links between conflict and food insecurity at the UN this week, the World Bank announcing billions to bolster the counter-effort over the next 15 months, as the Food and Agriculture Organization issued this stark warning.
Worldwide, prosperity is being reversed. There is less food security, less health security, less income, and great inequality. My message today is more relevant than before. Agriculture is one of the keys to lasting peace and security. Conflict remains the single greatest driver of hunger. Between 2018 to 2021, the number of the people in crisis situations in countries where the conflict was the main driver of acute food insecurity increased by staggering 88% to just over 139 million.
Various meetings at the UN this week heard how the war in Ukraine had exacerbated an underlying condition of food insecurity globally, with efforts underway led by the Secretary General to broker a deal allowing Ukraine to resume food exports while restoring Russian food and fertiliser production into world markets.
We must protect people, agricultural food system, and economics against future shocks. To prevent the impact of conflict on food insecurity, we must increase the sustainable productivity, strengthen capacity to deliver relevant services and commodities, and provide access to innovative financial tools and digital services.
Russia and the US trading barbs this week, with Washington accusing Moscow of holding the world's food supply hostage, while Russia rejected any notion that it was to blame, countering that without an easing of sanctions, there would be no exports to the detriment of the Russian market.
You assert that allegedly we are preventing agricultural products from being taken out of Ukraine by sea. However, the truth is that Ukraine, not Russia, that continues to hold the ports of Mykolaiv, Kherson, Chornomorsk, Mariupol, and Odessa. 75 vessels from 17 countries. And it is Ukraine that also mined the waters.
Washington says Russia is using food as a weapon to break the spirit of the Ukrainian people.
Still, Ukrainians are going to great lengths to feed their own people and to feed the world. Farmers in Ukraine continue to risk their lives to produce wheat and other crops. Many have returned to fields that are filled with mines. They wear bulletproof vests and helmets as they harvest. And, as we've heard already powerfully this morning, it's not only Ukrainians who are suffering. As a result of the Russian government's actions, some 20 million tons of grain sit unused in Ukrainian silos as global food supplies dwindle, prices skyrocket, causing more around the world to experience food insecurity.
As UN Chief Antonio Guterres' quiet diplomacy continues, he expressed hope that a deal could be reached with all stakeholders to the war in Ukraine, warning that the security, economic and financial implications required goodwill on all sides. Sherwin Bricepies, SABC News, New York.